Good morning, YouTube friends. Today I'm super excited to tell you about my trip up north to Reno. I'm already waking up on my 5th day on the road, and I've had a crazy busy schedule full of all kinds of fun stops. And today I want to tell you about that first stop on my first day of traveling, Joshua Tree National Park. Man, what an incredible place. If you're ever in Southern California, you've got to check this spot out. A really iconic place known for its Joshua trees, which are these prehistoric looking trees that have these big spiky green leaves that shoot off. They're really crazy. But so I started in Yuma, Arizona, where I've been living ever since December. I woke up super early in the morning and went over to the dump station in town for the final time. Dumped all my gray and black water, rinsed everything out. Then I went and filled up my fresh water too, got myself some propane, and then I hit the road. I was on my way on the interstate heading towards Joshua Tree. So while I was on my way to Joshua Tree, I learned one of the best ways to really get a good park experience, for me anyway, driving in an RV, is to call them in advance. So I called the visitor center and talked to them about what the best thing to do would be if I had one day at the park, and I tell them that I'm going to be towing my RV, and I asked them, what roads are going to be accessible, what my driving experience would be like. I want to know if I should drop off my trailer first and then go explore the park, or if I can just drive around the whole park with my trailer and not have to unhitch. Sometimes that's a lot easier. So on my way to the park, I drove past all kinds of really cool stuff. I drove through the Glamis sand dunes. These sand dunes are super cool. I'd driven through the southern end on my way to San Diego, but this time I drove through the northern end where a lot of people really go to cruise around the sand dunes with their dune buggies. This place was really neat. Just giant sloping sand dunes with this big orange sand mounds. You can see people that have just driven over them all over the place. It's really neat. Then I drove past the Salton Sea, which is this big lake sea in California, and I guess it's really salty and people go swimming there. I don't know, it looked like a really cool spot. It's definitely a neat thing to drive past. And then I drove through Indio, California, in the Coachella Valley, where they hold the Coachella Music Festival every year. That was a cool spot too. All on my way to the west entrance of Joshua Tree National Park. Once I made it to the west entrance of the park, stopped at the visitor center, checked out some stuff there, paid for my entry fee to the park, jumped back in the truck with the trailer, and started headed in. I decided after talking to the people on the phone to ride down Park Boulevard, which is a way that you can take from the west entrance all the way to the north entrance. It has a lot of different stops and places you can stop along the way. Some of the areas are just completely littered with tons of Joshua trees. Some of them, they're a little bit more sparse. Some areas, there are huge rocks that you can climb up on top of. All kind of really good stuff. So I just kind of drove, bounced around, hit different spot after different spot, would pull off here, pull off there. It was a really neat way to experience the park and the different diverse landscape that it has, especially seeing all those cool Joshua trees. So after cruising down Park Boulevard for a while and really getting the Joshua Tree National Park experience, I decided to jet off on a dirt road that I saw that went off of there just to kind of explore. Not the best idea. It wasn't too easy to navigate, and I almost got stuck with the trailer, but I made it out just in time to catch a great sunset over at Jumbo Rocks. I climbed up on top, saw an amazing sunset. You could see just sitting over all the Joshua trees and all these just different rock formations, mountains in the distance, some beautiful clouds too. A really awesome, memorable place to catch an amazing sunset. After I caught the sunset at Jumbo Rock, I drove out of the park in the dark and made my way over to a campground that I found on freecampsites.net, one of the sites that I use most of the time to find where I'm going to camp. It was right near, or actually the campsite, it was 20-25 minutes from the park in a little dried up lake bed outside of Sunfair, California. So I just drove down this bumpy dirt road at night, maybe a mile or two, not too long. As I got back there, I started to see a couple signs of other RVers. I saw lights in the distance that I could tell were RV lights, stuff like that. So I just started driving through this lake bed, found somewhere flat to set up where I could tell I wouldn't be in the way of anybody, and just set up for the night. Man, those stars there were incredible too. Just an amazing view, amazing spot, great place to spend the night, and really enjoyed my day there at Joshua Tree. It really made a great spot to spend my evening. So Joshua Tree National Park has always been on my list of places to check out, and I think it should be on your list too. You gotta see what those crazy looking trees look like in person. It's just a really neat spot. Check out the next video because I'm going to be heading up north towards Arizona and Lake Havasu. I'm going to show you what it was like on my trip there. It really ended up being one of my favorite places so far along the journey. But hey, I'm not even halfway to Reno, so there's lots to see. Check it out tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this video too. See you later.